I'm alive. At least YouTube tells me I'm alive. Because if they didn't, I would never know. What's going on, guys? My name is Matt Freeman, and I like to talk a lot. My puppy's staring at me. I'm a little late by 20 minutes, but I've had a lot going on. Not really a lot, but I've had things going on that prevented me from starting at 10 o'clock. So I hope that everybody is not going to make it now. Oh, Lord, that needs to go over there. Oh, but just living the good life. Had a water main break in front of my house. Well, not in front of my house, but down the road from my house, and I've been kind of dealing with that. Having to call my dad and have him call some guys from they worked with to go out there and see about getting it fixed. Just spent a little bit of time working on my trucks, both of them. So my hands are somewhat dirty already. I've got one truck that barely ever runs, so if I don't charge it constantly, battery dies a lot of the time. And also have another one that is making a weird noise. Not really sure what's doing it, what's causing it, and how to fix it. So that's where we're at. That's where I was. That's what I was doing. Gotta move this here big ass chair out the way. There is a thunderstorm coming, which wasn't really told anything about no thunderstorm, but there was lightning outside, so I'm assuming that means there's going to be a thunderstorm. Oh, I figured I'd spend some time working on my Dragtor tonight. If anybody decides to show up to watch, so be it. If not, I understand, since I was a little late on the get up and the start of this whole stream tonight. I assume people probably are, probably looked at 10 o'clock and didn't see me streaming, so they were like, oh, he must not be streaming tonight. So I guess as a preemptive warning to everybody out there, if you're watching this post live stream, like when it's posted on YouTube, if you missed the live stream because you didn't show up, I would suggest that if you don't see me at 10 o'clock, to keep checking back at least until 10:30, because, if I'm going to stream, I'm going to stream. I might be a little delayed, doesn't mean I'm not going to stream, but obviously, like I said, people tend to understand that I start at 10 o'clock, and then they show up at 10 o'clock and they don't see me streaming, so they just think, oh, he's not streaming tonight. And it's like, no, I'm just a little behind. Still streaming. But it's fine. I get it. Nobody wants to watch Matt tonight. That's okay. Maybe I won't do a full 2-hour stream then. Maybe I just half-ass do a little bit, because there was a few things I was watching on the YouTube, but it's not YouTube that I was watching on. I was watching a TV show that I own. Trying to clear a path to this engine. It's, last I remember picking it up, it was relatively heavy, so I want to try to get some of the stuff out of the way so I can have a little bit easier time moving it over here. Really need to figure out how to get this other engine I have apart too. That could be something I could work on. We got a bunch of engines to work on. Not so much tonight, but just in general. Oh yeah, she's a heavy bitch. Oh God, don't break anything. All right, here's the bad girl engine herself. I swear that the person who gave it to me told me it was a 252 stroke, but it looks awfully small. Something tells me it's a 125 two-stroke, but it's old. It's from the 70s. Hello, Rachel. How's it going? A little behind on my stream tonight, but lay down. Lay down. The dog's being a pain in my ass all night, not listening, doing whatever she wants. I was going to obviously persuade Mike into finally letting me have that engine that he's told me many times that I could have and put onto it, but he never gets it for me, and it's obviously not like I can get it, and it's hard to try to build something to an engine. Oh well, I can't change it now. So what did I how did I spell it wrong? I don't see the title's not even. Yeah, the big engine he had that used to run the Bobcat that he has sitting on the shelf in there. Because like I said, I can't really build the Dragtor very well if I don't have the engine that I'm trying to build it with. That's actually why the last time I was at your guys' house, I was asking him how you start an engine without a solenoid, because this is the only engine I have that would be worthwhile to use if I don't use that big one. I just wanted the big one because it's a 4-stroke. Um, um, oh, you guys actually got the engine like ready for me to take. I mean, realistically, I was just about to remove the engine um from the one that I have that it needs fixed, but I was going to wait until Mike got home from down south, because ironically, I have no idea how he got the engine off, because for some reason they bolt the engine from the bottom. Like, instead of putting the bolts on the top, bolting it down, they bolt them up from the bottom. And it's like, besides like just taking the mower and flopping it over on top of itself, I don't know if there's an easy way to get that engine off or not. So I figured I'd ask Mike, because he'd be obviously more inclined to understand what would be the easiest practice of getting it off. But there's a water main break. Oh well, shit, that's dope. I mean, like I said, I literally only need a part from the engine. It just sucks that the part I need is inside of the engine. So that's why I gotta get this motor off of my mower now, but off of my walk behind, because I got to actually take the engine apart to get to the damn thing that I need to replace. And there's I'm zoning out a little bit because I got a lot on my fucking mind. Yeah, I could have totally taken it, but obviously I wasn't really thinking about it earlier. Got a lot going on up here today. There's a water main break just down the road in front of my house, so there's water spewing out everywhere. So I had to contact my dad to contact the guys at the water department, and then they came out, and I had to go down and show them where it was at and figure all that out. So that was already up to about 10 o'clock at that point. And then when I drove home from leaving your house, I heard a funny noise in my truck. And so it was like engine funny noise. So I started up the Ford out there and um opened up the hood and let it run for a while and listened to it. I have no idea what it is, but it's this really loud, high-pitched chirp that happens about I'd say every 60 seconds. Goes, and then it just sits there. And 60 seconds later, it goes, so I have no idea what the fuck's causing it, but. And then the Dodge is dead again because I never drive it. So it just sits there and that battery just slowly depletes itself. So there's something draining that battery because even though the battery's old, it shouldn't take that. It's just a lot of stuff, It's just so much stuff piling up that it's like I can't catch a break. And obviously, this is all for fun. The Dragtor is just my idea of something I've always wanted to build. So it's like I'm doing this out of fun, but I got to fix the mower engine. What was that? Damn, it's a lot of lightning outside though. Every time I look outside, I see a big bright flashing light. Something else. I can't remember now. There was some other thing. It's like I'd love to put this engine on the Dragtor because it's a 125 two-stroke snowmobile engine. But there's two problems with it that will cause me so much issues if I use it. Number one being the stupid way that snowmobile engines work. A regular engine runs with the pulley and the drive shaft coming out of this side, so that way all these pulleys on this tractor, everything's on this side of on this side of the tractor, it's on the left side. But if I turn the engine and ran it like this, it'd be running backwards because the way that snowmobile engines are designed, the shaft sticks out the left side of the snowmobile, and then farther down in the snowmobile, it has a belt to chain linkage that changes it from this side to this side so that it runs on the correct side. So if I use this engine, I gotta put it on here like this on top of, then I have to somehow design a thing that allows this belt to run to a pulley that then transfers it over to this side to run to that side. It's just a big pain in the ass. And then secondly, I'm also afraid to use this engine because even though it is just a 125 two-stroke, two-strokes have a lot of quick, touchy whack power. And this mower is so small, even if I extend the front end a little bit, I'm afraid the moment you crack the gas at all, it's just going to want to stand this thing straight up. And I'm not trying to have this mower fucking crush me to death. So that's why I really had always hoped that Mike would let me have that engine because A, that engine's huge and weighs a lot. So it would add the weight to the front end that would keep it down. And B, it's a four-stroke. So it doesn't have that quick whack power. It would give you this nice gradual take off and go. And like I said, most of the times, I bring it up to him, we talk about it, and he's like, yeah, you can have it, it's yours. But then, like I said, I don't ever go out there. And he never brings it home. So it's like I don't really know. I kind of feel bad constantly asking him for it because I do it. I ask him for it a lot. Oh yeah, and then that was the other engine I was thinking of. I've got a 660 cc four-stroke snowmobile engine over there, but it's completely seized up. So I have to take the entire thing apart. Pistons are rusted, cranks rusted. So all that's got to be replaced. It also doesn't help that the motor itself is from the 80s. So getting parts for it is going to be a little bit more difficult just because, unless they kept the same schematic throughout the 90s. Is it? Well, I'm tired of you crying all night. Go to sleep. The dog's driving me crazy. She's fucking crying. She's just been crying all night for no fucking reason. I think she's got to go to the bathroom, so I let her out to the bathroom. And then she just picks up her ball and is like, oh, let's play. It's like she literally is just being overly fucking lay out. Being overly clingy tonight, and I'm not into it. Some nights I love it when my dog's all about me, and nights like tonight, I'm just like, stop it. Be a bit more independent, please. Oh. Oh, can it really? Thank you, Tyler. I highly appreciate that. Rachel and I had a very long conversation today about my glorious beard. But really, the two-stroke can run either way. Because I keep using the fucking snowmobile up front or outside that I have, the shell of a snowmobile I have, as an example, because obviously the motor ran so it was out that side, and then it transferred it from this side to that side to then run the treads or whatever the fuck they're called. I mean, it's a nine. I literally did the research on it a long time ago. It's a 1970 something. It's like a 73 or something. Two smoke snowmobile. I was told it was a 250, but this motor looks way too small to be a 250. I'm guessing it's got to be a 125. Piston works. I mean, unfortunately, because of it sitting in here, it's fucking full of all kinds of like dust and sticks and leaves and shit. So I need to clean this out before I worry about spinning this piston too much. But I mean, like when I rotate the shaft, it like legitimately actually moves. I mean, it's in good running condition. Actually, I have the head off of it because I thought maybe it was in rough shape, but still got the head over there. But I've got no wire that runs from the spark plug to anything. Actually, holy shit! I just noticed there is a solenoid on this. What's this? Okay, so I'm guessing that this must have been the wire that ran the spark plug because it goes to the solenoid, but it's cut off. So I'd need some way of figuring out how to hook up a spark plug to the solenoid. I thought the solenoid didn't exist anymore. But then there's all these wires. I have no idea what these wires are. I don't know if this is for like a starter. Two yellow wires, a black wire, and a green wire, and the green wire is like rigged to this copper plate. It's like definitely looks like somebody like did this by hand or something. But it also has no pull cord. And the carburetor is like older than hills. I mean, look at the size of this carburetor. Never knew that. So how does that work? Like how does it have the ability to run backwards? That's so confusing to me. Oh god, this thing weighs like 500 pounds, and it really sucks that I have it sitting on my lap because it's way too heavy. Way too heavy to be just chilling. If I could get the other engine unseized and use it, I'd rather use it just because it's a 4-stroke 660. It's actually a 500 that was bored and blueprinted over to a 660. Oh Lord. It's the one that came out of the snowmobile that's in my backyard. But like I said, it's beyond seized because it sat out in the fucking the rain for a millennia, or rain, snow, everything. Here's the head to that one. About the only other thing, which, well, I guess it's just bolts, but I have no idea what I did with the original bolts and the nuts for this fucking engine. That's the problem when you take an engine apart and you did it like 8 years ago. I mean, it wasn't 8 years. I've only had this engine for like 2 or 3, but still, it's been long enough where I'm sure I've done lost everything that was actually important to this. Because that's what I do. I take things apart when I shouldn't. I took it apart, and then the person I got the engine from was like, "Oh, you don't need to take it apart. It should run just fine how it is." And I was like, "Oh, well, I already took it apart, so that's good to know." But I'm scared. I'm scared to put a 2-stroke on this fucking tiny tractor. I feel like it's gonna flip over on top of me. I mean, it's to the point where using the 5-horse Honda engine, that thing right there, that's that 5-horse Honda engine that you gave me, Mike, from like from a pressure washer. I put that on this tractor, leaving it completely stock with the original tires and everything that was in the front, and I could do wheelies on this thing and get it to tip all the way up. And that was on a 5-stroke or 5 horsepower 4-stroke motor. So I need a motor that has weight, and I also need a motor that's 4-stroke because I feel like the 2-stroke's just going to have way too much instantaneous power, and it's just going to go and just kill me, come backwards and break my face. Oh, let's also thank Mountain Dew for being our unofficial sponsor of this stream tonight. My last Mountain Dew that I have. I've been holding on to this Mountain Dew for literally like a week because I've not wanted to drink it because I love Mountain Dew. It's my favorite pop of all time. And one day they will sponsor me, but they are the current unofficial sponsor, just like Pepsi and Coke. But so what's everybody else up to? Let's get some conversation up in here. Anybody got any exciting stuff going on? Tyler, I play Xbox because in my eyes, Xbox is the complete shit, and I absolutely hate PlayStation. But realistically, I owned the original PlayStation, and I had a PlayStation. Okay, well, technically, if you want to get real technical with it, I had the original PlayStation, I had a PlayStation 1, and I had a PlayStation 2. Some people think the PlayStation 1 was the original PlayStation. It's not. They had a PlayStation, and then they came out with the PlayStation 1. But I have all 3 of those, and I've never touched the PlayStation since because after the PlayStation 2, I got an Xbox 360, and I fell in love with Xbox, and I've done nothing but play Xbox ever since. But what about you, Tyler? What do you play? You Xbox or PlayStation? And realistically, I'm sure a PlayStation is just fine. Only reason I hate on PlayStation is because I'm an Xbox guy. But that's like I said, I'm sure that PlayStation's just fine. It's just not my natural go-to console. Unfortunately, I'm not doing any drinking tonight because I got tipsy 2 nights ago and I got wasted last night. God, that was a fun stream, but I could not do it again. way too much alcohol in a short amount of time. Still got my Smirnoff outside. Completely forgot to take it in last night, so here it is, just still sitting here chilling. Warm as all hell. Hey, it's still carbonated. It still smells good. Well, that's interesting. Almost feel like Smirnoff Ice Raspberry warm is actually better than when it's cold. All right, Mike, I've read what you said, but I'm just trying to understand. So, two-stroke, every stroke pulls in air. It has no valves, so no need for the exhaust stroke, so it won't matter which way it spins. That's confused. I'm just confused by that. I mean, I'm sure it makes complete sense, and it's probably just because I'm not a very big motor guy to understand it. But so you're saying that because it doesn't do an extra stroke for the exhaust, it does not matter what way it spins because it can spin one way or the other, and it's still doing the same thing, whereas a four-stroke would have to do. So you're also saying then that for a four-stroke, since it has the exhaust, if it ran backwards, it would technically do the exhaust stroke first. Is that what you're trying to say? Because I'm trying to understand, but it's very confusing sounding, and I think I got what you said. Well, that's cool. I mean, like I said, it's one way or the other. The problem is with me, Tyler, is I play Halo and I play a lot of games that are exclusive to Xbox only. Now, if one day, PlayStation ends up getting Halo and Forza and stuff like that, then I could maybe see myself switching over if it's really that much better. But they don't have those games. And I understand, there are exclusive games to PlayStation that Xbox don't get, but those, I'm used to what Xbox has. So that's why, to me, I will stay with an Xbox forever, just because it's got the games I like. But I cut my rails. I cut my rail extensions. They need ground down a little bit, but this one would go here. This one would go up here. That will extend the front end of the tractor. There's 16 inches. So realistically, the front end of the tractor will be here instead of back here, which realistically, even though these bars are 16 inches, there's only, I think, well, let's see. Yeah, so I think there's like 12 or 13 inches from the ends of these to the actual mower. But I figured this will be the platform in which the wheels run off of. I can build the wheels off of this. It'll extend everything, and then I'll probably still put the motor where it's supposed to go, because obviously the frame of the tractor is much stronger than what the frame for the wheels will be, because obviously this will be handmade out of angle and stuff like that, which also a little bit scary thinking about building my steering out of this stuff. But obviously, it will be it will have much more supports and the other things to help it stay in place. And I'm just going to bolt it for now, drill holes, bolt it all together. But I figured that if, eventually if it all gets put together and it stays as one unit, I could convince Mike to allow me to roll it to a shop or something, and we could weld it together so it actually is like solid and not just bolted together, because that's where I'd be really skeptical if it would stay together if it was just bolted together. But that way I can still use the original steering column, because this thing is fucking amazing. Runs on big ass cammed gears and legit Hey, I killed my first mosquito on my leg. First time I had a skeeter on my leg. Hey, skeeter on your Peter, whack it off, whack it off. If I say there's a skeeter on your Peter, you're supposed to say whack it off. That's how this works. There's a skeeter on your Peter, whack it off. Mike, did you? Yeah, Tyler, I have no problem. Do you play the newest Call of Duty? I'm assuming. I also own every single Call of Duty there is. My Xbox has got 6 terabytes of storage space, so I have every single Call of Duty downloaded to my Xbox, so I can play whatever Call of Duty. But yes, I play the shit out of the brand new one. Kind of wish my other friends had the brand new Call of Duty because I think I don't know about everybody else, but I love the new Modern Warfare. I think they did a fantastic job with that game. Um, Hello, Holly. I wasn't trying to ignore you. I totally saw you. How's your night going, Holly? Hopefully everything's good. Life's going good. Isn't it also funny to think that we have more people talking and watching tonight than we did last night when I was drinking? Isn't that funny how that works? When Matt's drunk, nobody shows up, but when Matt's sober, everybody wants to show up. Now I'm wondering if they're gonna have to come. I mean, I haven't seen the water truck show back up, so I don't know if maybe the oh yeah, you and Robbie are watching me right now. Whoa. Hi Robbie. Unless he's not watching, then he just didn't get that shot out. But I gave you a shot out anyways. Well, I gotta clean this thing, and now that I think about it, I have nothing to clean it with. I'm very unprepared for this. Um uh you bark. Why are you being bad girl tonight? Izzy. Izzy. Stop it. Here's a mouse. There's currently a mouse running around in my garage. I can hear him up on top of my shelf up here. It's one of the things. My mom's deathly afraid of mice, and I think that's the funniest thing in the world because a mouse is like the smallest animal you could ever be afraid of. And stop it. Go sleepy now. Lay down. Be quiet. There's nothing out there. It's a mouse. You ain't gonna scare a mouse with your bark. You ain't that scary. You just a little baby puppy. You just a little puppy. No mouse is scared of you. Stop it, mouse. Well, Tyler, enjoy. Even though you are dealing with craziness with work, still enjoy the fact you're working because I haven't worked in like 3 months. So I'm straight broke and out of options. I've been applying to jobs left and right. And I mean, I'm not even going to get into it because it perturbingly makes me mad. I will write down your um your gamer tag and I will also put mine in the chat. because it would be way too hard to try to say it and have you understand what it is. So boom, that's my gamer tag. So you can add me, or if you get an ad from me, you'll understand that was me who sent you a friend request. Yes, it is a lot of murder. I like to murder, and people call me Murder as my nickname, and I love it. It's like the best thing to have as a name, because then people call me Murder because they don't know my name, and they're like, "Yo, Murder," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's what's up. That's my name." Gangster thug life up in here. I also play a lot of Apex Legends. And honestly, there's a billion games I play. I play everything. Very few games out there besides Fortnite. I think Fortnite's the only game in this world that I despise of, and I refuse to play it. I understand there's a lot of people out there that love Fortnite, and everybody's obsessed with it. Just not for me, man. I don't like building and killing. I like either building or I like killing. There's like a separation. I don't like building and killing at the same time. There's a skeeter on your pier, whack it off, whack it off. Wee wee, wee. There's a skeeter on your Peter, and you really want to beat her. If there's a skeeter on your Peter, whack it off, whack it off. Could maybe put my jack. I got this really old farmer's jack. Oh Lord, where to put it? Why isn't it locking? Oh, that's why. This fucking farmer's jack is older than me, and even though it's got some flaws to it, this thing is fucking legit. I just need a handle for it because I don't have the original handle for it. But look at the way this thing works. I live. Actually, I'll tell you how. I'll Google how far I am. Hey, look at that. Because I have Xbox hooked up to my PC. It just told me that you sent me a friend request. Oh, somebody else added me as a friend as well. Ace. Oh God. Oh my God. I I just got 3 people asked to be my friend at the same time on Xbox, or not ask, but I just had 3 people become my friend on Xbox at the same time. That was interesting. Does that mean there's 3 people out there that all asked to be my friend on Xbox, or that just timed so perfectly that this moment you invited me, everybody else did? How far is Pittsburgh from me? I'm 124 miles away from Pittsburgh. It takes me 2 hours and 3 minutes to get there. Which I guess I could have remembered that being as me, Mike, and Rachel took a trip to Pittsburgh a few years ago. But actually, a lot of years nowadays. But look how old school this jack is. It's got this big cam gear here. It's got this part here, and this is where you put the shaft in. And then it's got this little metal locking system that like goes through and it hits the gear. And then as the gear gets hit, as it clicks into a specific spot in the gear and you crank it up, it twists the big gear and the jack raises up. It's a very good system. It's just no one uses things like this anymore. It's too old school, Nowadays you got all the pumpy jacks. Okay, Rachel. Hey, Holly. I have a question for you, Holly. I've got a question for Holly. Oh, Holly. Oh, Holly. I've got a question for Holly. Is Mike still watching? Is Yep still here? Yep. Still think it's awesome as shit that my bestest friend had a YouTube channel that I didn't even know was his. And he would comment on my videos, and I just thought it was some random person. Yep. Oh, Lord. This is very unsafe. It holds. Oh, he is lame. Like, where would he go? He ain't got nothing better to do while he's down there. He's probably watching Cletus because he's cooler than I am. Yeah, unfortunately, there is a FedEx that I do see jobs for, but the closest FedEx to where I live is still about 40 minutes north of here. But there is a UPS that's literally like a mile down the road from me. So I guess I could always look into seeing if UPS needs anybody because could always work for them. I don't even know if Holly's still here. I told her I had a question for Holly and she hasn't answered. So I feel like Holly's not watching no more. I just want to figure out who friended me on Xbox because I mean I know Tyler, I know you have because your gamer tag popped up on my computer, but then it was just ironic as shit that the moment that you sent me a friend request, I got two others right after you. So it's like now I'm trying to figure out who these other people are. Oh wow, I got a bunch of grease all over my hand. Oh, I'm a dirty boy. Oh my god, I fuck myself on every corner edge. Yeah, I know. I know some people have started working for UPS and then quit really soon after because they hated it. But at this point, I ain't got no job. Oh no, I forget. I did apply once for UPS, but even though there's a warehouse that's only about a mile down the road from me, I forgot that they wanted me to drive all the way to Cleveland because I had to go to their district headquarters just to have an interview. And I was like, does that make any sense? I've got a building in my town, and you're going to make me drive 45 minutes away just for an interview to work somewhere that's a mile down the road from me. But like I said, at this point, I really just need a job. I mean, I'm not judging nobody. You know, people work in stores and stuff. I understand, but to me, I've never really wanted to be like a Walmart worker and stuff like that as like my full time job. But construction ain't kicking up. They say that construction is going to be opened in Ohio shortly, but I think they're talking like people who build houses. I don't build houses. I do finish work on houses, and people still don't want you in their house because they're all still home. So I can't be inside of people's houses redoing their bathrooms, redoing their kitchens, redoing whatever when they're home because nobody wants you there. So literally, I've just been out of work because no one, my job can't do its job. So I'd like to stay in that field. I'd like to keep doing the carpentry and shit like that because it's what I'm good at. But at this point, I just need a damn job. Like I just need something to do, make some money somewhere because I ain't got nothing else to do with my life. Ah, excuse me. Let me see something real quick. Getting on my fancy computer. I say fancy computer, now it's really not fancy at all. Xbox can't console companion. Funny enough, I could just thinking about it. I don't even have to go inside of my house to add you as a friend on Xbox. As long as my stream doesn't crash due to the fact that I'm now using the internet to be on my Xbox account on my PC, I should just be able to look up recently the people who recently. Wait a minute. Adam Vincent joined my clan, but he joined it like a month ago. And I sent him an invite for my clan like a year ago. My God, I got a lot of friends online right now. I've got 9 friends playing Xbox right now. Oh, I need to catch that. No, stop, Moth. I need you. Go. Everybody now is going to watch Matt try to catch a moth. Because I can feed it to my dragon, but he's flying way too fast for me to try to catch him at this moment, so I'll just have to put that off to the side. I really hope my stream's not struggling. If you guys experience any problems with my stream, cutting in, cutting out, or anything like that, I'd highly appreciate it if you let me know, because I wasn't paying attention to the screen, and I'm using the Xbox Companion app, which also happens to be using the internet, so I'm afraid that it might steal too much internet away. Oh yeah. So no, it wasn't that I got 3 friend requests all at the same time. It was I got 3 friend requests, but since you sent me a friend request on, well, I say friend request even though it's not how this works at all. It's just you started following me, so now I'm gonna follow you back. But it just for some reason showed me 2 other people who followed me days ago. The other guy that asked to follow or that started following me, I carried him through Apex Legends the other night, and when we won, he was so blown away that I like took control and dominated the round, and I was like, I'm better by myself, and so my teammates always get mad at me and yell at me like, "Why aren't you helping us?" And it's like, because I wish Apex Legends had solos, but they don't. They make you be with 3 other people. So if I'm with 2 other random people that I don't know, I just ditch them. I just fly to a different part of the map and I'll just do what I got to do. And everybody, like I said, gets all mad because I'm not helping them. But it's like, dude, I don't know you, and I'm 10 times better player by myself. Even if I'm running up against the teams of 3, I'm still better at it by myself than I am with anybody else. But our one teammate died and my other teammate survived, but you could tell he was like a scrub. Like he had no idea what he was doing. And me and him wrecked that fucking game. I say me and him, but I wrecked that game and he just followed with me the entire time. And then we won and he was so blown away. He sent me a message being like, dude, we got to play again. But I only had time for 1 game. So I was like, you can be my friend, but I can't guarantee that I'll be on anytime tonight. And I have yet to be on Apex Legends since. But it's whatever. Regardless, I started following you back. So the next time, Apex Legends is, if you've ever played PUBG or you know what Fortnite is, it's just a battle royale game. It's free to play though, so you don't have to buy it. It's just a free game, but it's made by Bethesda Games, which Bethesda is owned by Activision, and Activision makes Call of Duty games. So I mean, it goes to show you it's a pretty awesome game, but it's a battle royale game. There are 30 teams of 3, so there's 3 people per team, and there's 30 teams, and so in total there's 90 people on the map when you start, and the whole point of it is just kill everybody until you're the last team surviving. And you run from building to building, and you loot, and you get armor, and you get guns, and you make yourself better, better and better, to the point that then, like I said, then you just wreck shop. But I played a bunch of PUBG for PC many years ago. Rachel, if you could get me food for my dragon, I would much appreciate that, because he's like, I feel so bad for him because he eats a lot, and he's used to eating a lot. But since I don't have money, especially money to buy him food, I have to feed him the wild bugs I catch. And sometimes at the end of the night, like tonight, I have not a single bug that I've caught all night. So if I can catch this moth that was flying around, this big ass moth, he would get the moth. But yes, exactly. It's exactly like Warzone for Call of Duty, but it's just a different game, so it's set up differently. Instead of just being a random person that you just find guns in Apex Legends, you pick a specific character, and that character has specific abilities that other characters don't have. So there's defensive guys, there's support guys, there's attack guys, there's recon guys, there's all kinds of shit. Um, so yeah, that's Apex is Apex is my all-time favorite. I actually have yet to play Warzone. I played the other version of Warzone, which is the part where you have to collect as much money as possible to win. So, um, hey man, if you have fun, that's the whole point. I'm the same way. I used to worry so much back in the day about having a good KD ratio and shit like that. And the last time I looked at just my standard Call of Duty like ratio from just online, um, I have, I think my Call of Duty ratio is like 3,000 kills to like 5,000 deaths. So I mean, I'm definitely by all means not a good Call of Duty or anymore, but I just love sniping. That was, my thing for sniping. I played the original Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2. Those were like my all-time favorite games, or even World at War, because those were like the games that were out when I was in high school. And I played the shit out of them, and I ran around with sniper rifles and just dominated people with snipers. And then it kind of seemed like Call of Duty kind of evolved and started making smaller maps and less like sniper. They had snipers, but they just seemed like snipers were nerfed and they were less powerful than they were. And this new Modern Warfare come out, and it's like perfectly balanced. The machine guns are strong, the shotguns are strong, the snipers are strong, everything's like perfect. And I love the open world maps because you can get a sniper rifle and you just pick people off from far away. And so that's generally where I levitate to. So because of that, sometimes you get games where you're picking a bunch of people off with snipers, and then there's some games where you're just getting wrecked because you're running around with a sniper rifle and everybody's running around with machine guns. But um, well, I appreciate that, Rachel. If you do, if you don't. It's fine. I will keep feeding him moths and bees and stuff. Oh, there's a jet bike outside. I heard it go. Wah, wah. Oh, look, Skeeter. There's a Skeeter on your Peter. Whack it off. Whack it off. Actually, funny enough, this is only for us local people, because anybody else out there that has no um oh yeah, see, yeah, we complete opposites, which can work good in our advantage, though. If we're playing on a team, I'm using the long range and you're using the close range, that can work well together. But yeah, no, we're definitely on opposite spectrums. I'm not a close game person. I'm a far away. I want to snipe you and do what I can from distance. But uh but funny enough, Rachel, the Brickyard, which I know you can hear it from your house, but the Brickyard is fucking lit tonight. all I've heard is dirt bikes and trucks back in the brickyard all fucking evening. And now that it's nighttime, it's kind of quieted down, but I'm sure they're all having a fire and getting drunk. And once 12 o'clock hits, in about 45 minutes, I guarantee you the brickyard's going to be revving and roaring like crazy. The only beautiful thing I love about the brickyard in the summertime is you can go outside at 1 in the morning and that's all you hear is dirt bikes and four-wheelers and three-wheelers because everybody now rides three-wheelers back there and they just rip it up. I also forgot it's raining, so that could also be a reason why they're not riding like crazy. That's what I was just saying. I think it might have to do with the rain because it started pouring right as I was saying that, and it kind of reminded me of like, oh yeah, riding isn't so much fun in the rain. I mean, don't get me wrong. If we go down south on the 16th and it's raining, I'm gonna ride anyways. I'll bring my rain gear so we can still do out. I mean, like I'm not gonna be hiding in the cabin just because it's raining. If it rains all weekend, I'm just meaning like I'm gonna be going out in it anyways. It obviously would prefer it not to be raining. So we lost Holly, we lost Mike. I have no idea what either. Well, I mean, Mike is less likely to watch me. I mean, he showed up for a short bit, and I appreciated that, but you know, I assume he's less likely to stay around. But I don't know where Holly went either. She didn't even say goodbye. She just disappeared one day, or one day. She just disappeared one day. She just disappeared at one point. Apparently, Robbie liked me or something, so she was like, "Fuck this, I'm outie." Do you guys like my screenshot in the beginning? I was throwing up the West Side signs like West Side. Everybody screaming South Side. Really wish I had something to clean this with. Well, I do have a shop rag over here somewhere. There it is. Sorry, she blows. Let's see if this does anything. And of course, on top of that, just works out so perfectly. This rag is a water-resistant rag, so I can't even get it wet to wipe it down because it just repels water. It's like of all the things to have in a shop setting, a water-resistant anything is not what you need to use when it comes to cleaning. There's so much corrosion buildup and everything. Not corrosion, but like oil, thick oilness and stuff. It's built up on this. I just need to scratch all of this off. I'm using a Lego. To scratch off the old oily nastiness. It's raining down. It's raining like the rain outside, which is funny because it's like it keeps raining and stopping and raining and stopping. It pours for like literally 30 seconds and stops. Yeah, it is what it was. I lost my Lego. Damn it. I dropped it. And there's really not many places it could have gone, but apparently it went somewhere where I can't find it. Because it ain't here. Chop the wheels so it can't fall on my face while I'm under here looking for this. Well, hot damn. I have no idea where that fucker went to. Good thing I got another piece of Lego sitting here. Ooh, paint's coming off. It's original 1971 paint right here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, I'm going to fall behind on chat just a smidgen bit because, I'm not obviously over by the computer, and that's where the chat is. But I'm going to scrape some of this off before I come back over, and then I read the chat. And who would have thought Lego would have been such good at scraping off old oil and grime buildup? That's what Lego should use as their thing. If you don't want to play with them, that's fine. Use it to scrape off old oil or grease. Actually doing a fucking fantastic job. Fucking steering shaft looks brand new. Holy shit. Bread on the table of the working man. As the working man does his best to provide safety and shelter for kids and a wife. Now it's my time to keep the wolves away. Are you talking about that bike right there? Right there? That motorcycle? If that's what you're talking about, that is a GSX 1200. Which in other words, it's a Suzuki 1200cc motorcycle. It's my father's. It hasn't ran in a lot of years. It's got 4 carburetors, and all 4 carburetors have to be synced together to run. And that's when he stopped working on it because he realized that he couldn't sync the carburetors together. And so I kind of always wanted to finally find a good job where I make enough money where I can get this bike and push it into somebody else's shop and pay them to rebuild it for my dad, and then give it to my dad as a present. Like, hey, look, I got your bike fixed that's been sitting in our garage for the last 10 years. One of the small gestures I would do for my father, because we don't really get along too much, but everybody's got some form of daddy or mommy issue, and of course I have daddy issues. I showed this on another stream, which I understand most people probably don't give a shit. This is a 45 round, which is like, okay, it's a bullet for a 45. But the cooler part about this is this bullet is from World War II. It's never been shot. So it's still like a brand new bullet. It's still, I guarantee, if you put it in a 45 Colt 45, which was a standard sidearm for somebody in the service in World War II, guarantee if you put it in there and pull the trigger, it'd go off. But I like keeping it because obviously it's really rare to have an unshot bullet that's from World War II. I mean, this bullet's almost 100 years old. And like I said, I guarantee it would still fire. Yes, I am. I have lots of them. Yeah, right. And that's what I'm saying. It's really cool. It actually came from my great grandfather. So I'm assuming, because all my family besides me, I'm the first generation anybody to have not joined any form of the service. But I'm assuming that this is my grandpa's 45 or my great grandpa's 45 round from when he was in World War II. I think it came from him, so I'd assume that this must have been his when he was in the service. He probably kept it as a memento, but it's really dope. It's really old. You can tell. I mean, like, you can't really tell from quality, but I mean, or the quality of the stream, but I mean, it's an old bullet, that's for sure. And it says it's a Federal round. It says right there, Federal 45 Auto. I like it. But yes, Tyler, I'm into motors, I'm into video games, I'm into guns, I'm into pretty much majority of what most guys are into. I understand some guys out there don't like guns and stuff, and that's fine. It doesn't make you less of a man, but I grew up with them, so every every so many weeks or so I go out to my buddy's house and we shoot a bunch of guns. And I shot a bullpup rifle for the first time like 2 weeks ago. And my brain still is so confused at how a bullpup rifle works. Because normally I don't have a gun out here to even show. And plus, the moment I show a gun on my stream, it instantly would be, I mean, not that I'm monetized anyways, but it instantly demonetizes a video having a gun on stream. But the majority of the way the guns work is you have the clip where your ammo goes is right above the receiver. So like when you rack it back, the bullet goes into the chamber and then it racks into place. But with a bullpup, the clip goes in front of the receiver. So the way it's designed is the gun shoots when the receiver goes forward and the hammer fires the pin. It ejects the shell, and then the next bullet comes up, slides all the way back. Um, it's odd, dude. It's like you hold it in your hands, and it feels like it's an amazing rifle to hold, but you hold it in your hands, and it's confusing because like where the foregrip would be is where the clip is. It's all the way at the front, so you're like, okay, well this is different. But trying to understand how the bullet gets kicked out back here, but the clip is up front, and it's like, what? How does this? It makes no sense. Works perfectly fine, and it's a great rifle. It barely kicks at all, being of the way that they build them. But it was my first time ever truly shooting a bullpup before. And, um, I was in love. I was true confused, very confused how it worked, but I was in love with it. Um, Yeah, and that's the other thing because the guy who owned the gun, he's a like an extreme. Um, I don't even know what you call it. Like he's an extreme gun enthusiast, but like he collects everything. Like I'm not even kidding you. This guy probably owns every bit of 500 to 600 guns, and he's constantly buying new ones. And, his thing is he's bought like every gun that was ever in any Call of Duty, and then he brings them over and shoots them, and then he's always like, "Oh, check this out! I got an MP5, or check this out! I've got a Scar, or I've got a M4A1, and I mean, just everything of FAL and all kinds of shit. I've literally shot so many guns that I've played with in Call of Duty that I never thought I'd ever shoot. And he buys them, and I get to shoot them, and I love it. Um, but yeah, he has like the quick mag changes, like so he can flop them out real quick because he shoots professionally and he does like competitions for shooting. And watching him do it looks so easy, but for me, it would have been all like, oh, wait, okay, wait, this goes up here and not because instantly, even he was saying when he was first shooting it, he'd go to change the mag out, he'd pull the mag out, and he'd go to shove it in the back, and he would just hit the gun and be like, oh shit, that's right, it's up here, and have to click it in. It's just like I said, it's just a mind fuck to try to understand that the clip is in the front of the gun instead of in the back. It's like, what? Um, my favorite gun of all time, which I've also got to shoot, is an MP40, like a real MP40, a German MP40. Obviously, it was used to spray Americans down, so that makes it a little bit more of a fucked up gun. But it was, I mean, it's an arguable sense, but in my eyes, it was by far one of the strongest submachine guns you could have had in World War II. Thompson, it shot a 9mm round, and that's really not that. I mean, it's full auto still, nonetheless. But you know what I mean. It's like um, uh, the MP40 shoots a custom round that's like close to a 45. So 45 versus a 9mm, there's a big difference of bullets being sprayed at you. And not to say I want somebody shooting 9mm at me at a large capacity, but I'd much rather be hiding behind something and have somebody shooting a 9mm at me than having somebody shooting a 45 at me. Excuse me. But yeah, I used to have a lot of guns out here. But I've since moved them all inside of my house because all it takes is somebody to break into my garage and find my stockpile of guns, and there it goes. But I used to have my 357 out here. I've got a 22 Magnum pistol I had out here for a while. Trying to think. I mean, I had a rifle that it's a 223 rifle that was out here for a while. Like I said, it just don't make sense. I live in the middle of the city. There's no need for me to have them in the garage. And that's another unfortunate thing about having no job is ammo is still. I wouldn't say it's still a crazy expensive, but it's expensive enough where it's like I wouldn't really want to go out shooting all my ammo because I don't have the money to replace it. And then on top of that, with like my 357, I've shot it my fair share, but that's the least gun I want to shoot now because that ammo is like for a box of 10 of them is like fucking $20. So you're paying almost $2 per round. And then you go out and shoot an entire box and it like fucking eats your soul away to think of how much money you just wasted. Even though you're having fun, you're still wasting $20 just to throw down range and just be like, oh, that was fun. Yeah, 30-30 is a good gun. I really like me a 30-30. AR-15s are, it's like the common gun nowadays. It's the AR platform is pretty common. So, um, like an M4A1 or an M16 is an AR platform gun. So, I mean, realistically, even though they are considered different guns, they are the same gun in theory. Um, but uh, the M1 Grand though, that's dope. I don't actually nope. I can honestly say I've never shot an M1 Grand. The only like rifles, large rifles I've ever shot from World War II era are the Mosin Nagant, the Car 98K, and fuck, what's the Chinese one? There's a Chinese rifle that was I can't think of it now. Or no, I think the Mauser's the Russian gun too. Shot a Mauser. I don't know. I've seriously shot so many guns. It's honestly hard nowadays to even try to remember what guns I have and haven't shot, just because. Um, uh, I've never shot a Mag 90, but I've shot a full automatic Mag 10 before. Um, uh, a full automatic guns are illegal, obviously, and so I cannot say where and who I shot it from, but I do know a few people who do own a few full automatic guns, and they're scary. It's a whole nother ball game to be shooting a gun that just continues to shoot because you can pull a trigger as fast as you want, and it seems like you're full auto at that point. But I mean, to physically just have to pull the trigger once and have it go, it's like it scares the shit out of you. It scares the shit out of me. It's just not something you run into every day, and because of full autos being illegal, you can only shoot them a few times, and then you have to put them away and hide them because a lot of times people will call the cops if they hear because they don't like the fact of that you have a full auto gun and people know that it's illegal. So, ooh, I got Skittles. Skittles are my favorite. Yeah, there's this thing. Um, I got a buddy of mine who owns a few bump stocks, and bump stocks are illegal now, but at one time they weren't illegal. So he bought them when they were legal, but now they're illegal. So like you can't buy one nowadays. But I've got a buddy who has a AK-47 with a bump stock on it, and the bump stock, if you don't know, it's designed so that when you pull the trigger, it it springs backwards, and when it lunges forward, it it forces you to pull the trigger again. So inevitably, it turns a semi-automatic gun into a full automatic gun because it just goes bah, 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 and he's got an AK-47 that's got bump stock on it, and it's probably the funnest thing to play with. But the only thing that throws you off is the hardest thing to have to try to remember is like when you shoot a semi-automatic rifle, it obviously kicks up like bang, and then because you have to pull the trigger again, you naturally hold on to it and it kicks a little bit, but then you just bring it back down and it kicks a little bit. When it's full auto, when I've had to shoot full autos in the past, or even a gun with a bump stock, I have to put my hand on top. So I hold the gun like this because literally when you pull that trigger, it just wants to go up. So you'll just start going and straight up because the gun's kicking so much you don't even have the ability to control it. It just wants to go up. So a lot of times you have to either really death grip it, just hold it, or like I do, I put my hand on the top of it. So as it kicks, I can keep the force down on the front. Yeah, honestly, Tyler, my buddy that has the bump stocks got the trigger as well. You can't, in his eyes, if they make something illegal that makes it full auto, he goes out and buys the next thing that's legal, and those triggers are on the verge of being illegal. But he has a AK-47U, which is the submachine gun version of the AK-47, and he has that trigger on it, and it's sick nasty. It's definitely sick nasty. Um, I've never shot the trigger version. I've only used the bump stock, but I've watched him shoot it, and it's definitely faster than the bump stock because bump stock has to physically recoil for you to shoot, whereas the trigger, you pull the trigger, it shoots, and when the trigger comes out, it shoots again. So every time that you're doing this, it's going bang, 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 and literally as fast as you can do it. So I mean, if you get a like his gun, the trigger is so sensitive, you can just sit there and go, and it's God, it's amazing. That's why I wish I had money. I'd be buying cool stuff like this, but I don't have the money to buy cool stuff like that. One day, one day I'll be, or I always say one day I'll be rich, but one day I'll just have enough money where I can afford to buy toys again. And I can look into getting stuff like that. But as of where I'm at in life now, the last thing I can worry about is getting a gun or a trigger or anything like that makes it more exciting because it's just the last thing I need to be spending money on at this point. Ah, guess I shouldn't eat these Skittles because now my mouth's filling up with juice and not having teeth, I can't really chew them up very well. Hey, you too, Tyler. Thanks for coming on and saying what's up. I only live stream till 12 o'clock, and if I venture inside and get on Call of Duty, we might play together tonight, but I'm not sure if by the time I end the stream if I'll be getting on Call of Duty or not tonight. Not 100% sure. I stay up pretty late most nights, so I generally get on video games later. Mm. They're Christmas Skittles. They're from Christmas time. And the Skittles in Christmas time are so fucking good, dude. They got grape, green apple, strawberry, wild cherry, and lemon. But they're red and green. That's all the colors are red and green. So they're good. They're not normal. They sound like normal flavors, but they're definitely not. They're definitely better. Earthquake rattles Puerto Rico. Not like Puerto Rico needs any more damage done to their fucking country with all the damn earthquakes they get. I've also been hearing a lot about fucking people complaining about Aldi's food. There's a lot of news articles coming out saying that people shouldn't shop at Aldi's because the Aldi's brand foods that they make have like chemicals and shit that they put inside of their foods that are actually really bad for people. And it's not even to say that somebody's been like sick or that people have gotten sick from it, but it's just something that they are like sooner or later it's going to bite Aldi's in the ass because somebody is going to get sick from it and it's going to like really fuck them up as a company. But it's like, I don't know where this came from. It's literally like the last 2 or 3 days, I've heard a fuck ton of news articles about Aldi's food and how it's really bad for you to shop at Aldi's and eat their food. And I was just like, huh, that's interesting. I've never really truly shopped at Aldi's myself. I'd go to Walmart or Giant Eagle or Euler's, which Euler's I'm sure is only an Ohio thing, but still, like, it's just weird. It's just it's an odd thing. Are you still there, Rachel? I'm assuming you're there. You're probably just not conversing because I understand you probably don't have a lot of input with guns, but I just wonder. We got 3 people watching, and obviously Tyler's been talking with me. I just didn't know if anybody else, who else is out there. Who else is out there? Am I all alone? Ah, boom. Oh, really need to slow down my smoking. I opened this pack at like whatever time it was that I went and got cigarettes. So it was like 4:30. I've only got 5 left in the same pack. So I've smoked like 15 cigarettes since 4:30. There's that mouse. I see you. I see you. If I could grab you, I would, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to. Oh, you know what? He's in here. Are you in here? No shit. Sorry for anybody watching. I'm currently chasing a mouse who definitely was just a little baby mouse. And he's like this fucking big. Is anybody out there that can still talk to me? It feels like now that Tyler left that nobody's out gonna talk to me. Rachel fell asleep on me. Pentagon officially releases UFO videos. Doubtful. Two NASA astronauts ready to try something completely new. Actually, which if this it probably doesn't excite other people as much as it excites me in life, but May 27th, we are sending three astronauts from SpaceX headquarters um, in Florida to the International Space Station on May 27th, and it's the first time. Um, it's the first time that United States has sent people to space in over a decade. Because if you don't know or haven't realized that last time we sent people to space, they died when they came back. That's funny, Tyler. Um, but I'm huge into space. I love rockets. I love all kinds of that kind of shit. But so May 27th, we're sending three astronauts from SpaceX's launch. Okay, SpaceX's rocket that's launching from Cape Canaveral, Florida, to the International Space Station, May 27th. And like I said, it's the first time in over a decade that we are going to send people into space, even though technically the space station is called low Earth orbit because it's not really space. But it's the first time that we have sent people from the United States, because the last time that we sent people, I don't remember who it was, what the rocket was called, but it was the rocket when the people went to space, and then when they came back, the spacecraft burnt up in the atmosphere and killed the astronauts. So we stopped sending people to space because it seemed that we were only killing everybody we tried to send back from space. And so it's a huge milestone. It's going to be a huge milestone for SpaceX because it's the first time they've ever launched a person into space. And secondly, it's the first time the United States in over a decade has sent somebody to space. So on the 27th of May, I will be doing a live stream, like watch. I'm gonna record the live feed on my computer, and I'm going to put my face over top of it, and then I'm going to record me watching the space launch live with everybody live if anybody wants to watch it, because it's a very monumental moment. And like I said, I'm a big space guy and I'm all about America, and this is going to be a huge moment for America. We obviously hope everything goes right, because if it fails, that would be horrible. But good night, Rachel. I'm only going to be live streaming for 10 more minutes, but it's fine. You can leave early. Fine. Just go whenever you want. But yeah, so hopefully everybody's would be interested in watching the rocket launch live with me. I would love more than anything to be there to watch it, like live in person, but unfortunately, due to Rona, no one's allowed to go to the launch because they obviously A, don't want crowds of people together, and B, the astronauts have been stuck in like rooms. They're like locked away from everybody in the world because they obviously don't want them getting Rona and being sent up to the International Space Station and spreading it to everybody else up there. So um um I smoke Marlboro Red 100s. Marlboro Red, the most expensive cigarette you could ever fucking buy. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's more expensive cigarettes out there, but it cost me $7.28 for this pack right here, because Marlboro is expensive. But I like full flavors, is what they call them. It's called a full flavor cigarette. I love the taste of a Marlboro. I started off with Camel filters many years ago. I mean, like literally when I was in high school, I started smoking Camel filters. Smoked Camel filters for probably like 4 years. Somehow, and I have no idea how the evolution worked, I went from Camel filters to Marlboro menthols, which are like gross. I hate menthol, but for some reason I smoked menthol for like a year straight. And then I switched over to Marlboro Reds, and I've smoked them ever since. I've been smoking Marlboro Reds for probably like 13 years now. It's actually quite sad to think that I started smoking when I was 15 and I'm turning 30, which means I've now unfortunately been smoking for almost 15 years. It's a long time. I mean, I know there's people out there who smoke longer, but it's just crazy to think that I've smoked cigarettes for 15 years already. I used to chew before I smoked. When I was smoking Camel filters, I was like majority of my time I was chewing. Um, I've literally never had. Oh no, don't do. Oh, damn it. Well, I'm sorry, Tyler. YouTube has this thing where if you say certain things in the chat, it asks me if I want to hide it or if I want to show it. And apparently, you said something in the message that YouTube thought was bad, and so they asked me. I went to hit um um I went to hit the or show, and I accidentally clicked hide message. So your message was hidden by me. That's what it says in chat, but I really didn't mean to, and I apologize for doing so. But I it's because you used the word shitty. That's it. You used a cuss word, and YouTube's all like, "Oh, he says bad words," and I cuss left and right. So the last thing I'm ever going to care about is somebody saying something cuss word wise in chat. But I figured I'd let you know. But I also have a shitty Walmart headset. Mine works. Not saying it's perfect, but mine does work. Um, but that's fine. I do unfortunately say this, but I'm quite glad that I'm allowed to still live with my parents, but I do still live with my parents. And so I can't really talk very loud when I'm playing video games at night because I can't risk waking them up because they'll be pissed at me if I wake them up for chit chatting over Xbox really late. So if you want to just play some Call of Duty and not worry about chatting tonight, that's cool. If you want to chat, we can figure that out. But I have no problem playing some Call of Duty. Like I said, my stream's gonna end here in 5 minutes, um, I need to let my dog out to go to the bathroom. Um, it's actually, I might as well let her out now. I always at the end of my stream, I always let my dog out. And I always tell people I have a surprise guest uh, that's going to come on to the video, and then I get my puppy out. My puppy is 2-year-old. She just turned 2 on April 30th. She is my life and my soul. I love this dog more than anything, even though she's been a complete brat all night tonight, and I've really not been happy with her, but I still love her because she's my baby. Hey, baby puppy. It's time for you to come say hi to the people on the YouTube. You want to come say hi? Oh, yes, my babies. You get up on the chair. Come up here. Come up here. Get up here. Get your fat butt up here. Ready? I help you. I help you. Oh, she's a big girl. Oh, it's a big girl. This is my baby puppy. I call her a baby, but she's full grown. So she's 2 years old, and I love her more than anything. Like, she hates cigarettes, ironically. Not to think that a dog would ever like cigarettes, but she hates when the smoke goes into her face and stuff. This is my baby puppy. Like I said, she's full grown, so she's just a little girl. She's a medium dog, but she my baby. Couldn't imagine having life without her. Huh, baby? Hi. Hey, baby. You give me a kiss? Can you give me a kiss? Hey, does he give me a kiss? Oh, thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Do you guys have dogs by chance? Anybody else out there? I mean, I know some of my moderators and stuff that aren't here, they all have dogs, but you guys are new in the sense of I'm talking to you for the first time tonight kind of thing. So I don't know if you guys got any dogs or not, but it's my baby puppy. She's my baby puppy, and I love her. Huh. and her name is Izzy, which Izzy. She was named after a friend of mine who passed away, who was a boy, but Izzy fortunately happens to be a name that you can be bisexual, as if you want to call it that, in the sense of she could be a girl named Izzy. Oh, and my baby, huh? Come up here. Come here. Come here. Come up here. Hey, come up here. Hi. Hi. Yeah, I love you. Whew. Well, it's a little bit shorter stream than normal because I normally stream every single night between 10 and 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Um, do this because it sucks for Eastern Standard Time people to have to stay up from 10 to 12, but it also allows people from other countries and other parts of the United States to be able to watch the channel, because obviously if it's 10 o'clock here, it's like what, 6 o'clock, 5 or 6 o'clock in California. And nighttime here is like morning time for people in the UK. So I get a lot of people from the UK and Germany and stuff that end up showing up and talking to me in stream, which is cool. I always enjoy talking to people from other countries and stuff like that. But so yeah, generally live stream between 10 and 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time every single night. So it gives me 2 hours every night to kind of get on here, bullshit with everybody. I was gonna work on the tractor, but I call it the Dragtor because it's a tractor that's being built into a drag racing tractor. So it's why I call it the Dragtor. And But I really didn't do much work on that. I just pretty much sat here and bullshit the whole time, which is fine. It's just I do try to do some stuff in the background from time to time. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna be ending the stream now because it's 12 o'clock, or at least a minute till 12. So it's just as easy that I just end the stream now. So if you guys like the video, a like would be much appreciated. If you're new to the channel, I'd consider subscribing so you can keep up with cool live streams like this and or other videos that will be posted. I do a lot of I've yet to post them, but I have a lot of videos that are soon to go up from working on dirt bikes and four wheelers, and soon riding dirt bikes and four wheelers and stuff like that, because this is the stuff that I and all my friends are into. Um, and if you're already part of the channel, I would suggest sharing the video on your social media platforms, showing other people what you enjoy watching and stuff like that, just because we are currently on the road to 500 subscribers. I've been in this road, it seems like forever, but I am only 28 subscribers away from 500, so I am trying my hardest to get there so I can make one badass 500 subscriber video for everybody. And yeah. So my name is Matt Freeman. I like to talk a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because I sure as hell enjoy talking to you guys every night. And I look forward to seeing you guys all tomorrow night. Actually, I don't normally do Sundays, but I did miss a stream earlier in the week. I do Monday through Saturday, and then I usually take Sunday nights off. But like I said, I did miss a stream. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, one of those days I missed streaming. So I could always live stream on Sunday instead as a makeup. So I may be back tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure on that. If not, I will see you guys Monday night for another amazing Matt Freeman live stream. I'll see you then. Bye.